Hey guys, so this is about the seventh time I've recorded this because I recorded it on my Mac and it didn't flip over. But anyway, I'll just try and get through it relatively quickly. So obviously, first of all, cover the week, some of the work stuff, current lift progression, and then at the end, I'm to this week I won't do as much of a philosophical thing. It'll be a little bit like it, but I'll just be going over monk mode, or I am. It's called that. I don't really have a name for it, but why I think it's good, just to limit stuff. Anyway. So obviously you guys can look through. I was meant to have a call with Mia, but she booked on Monday morning. She was a prospect I had from like 6 or so months ago, so a long time ago, but never really came to fruition. And then she suddenly booked, and I had a dermatologist, so I didn't get to call with her. So that's gonna be really frustrating to book again. Anyway, Monday, Tuesday were pretty fine. I did like play some games and watch YouTube and stuff on Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday as well. Although I didn't record it, I'll get a little bit into that later. And then today's been good. Anyway, so briefly getting into the ads. I'll go through, the interesting ones from top to bottom. So Victor first, Body Temple Fitness. This is the first gym I'm with. So we recently got through the third week of ads. Now, they were only running for about 3 days of this week. But overall, the click-through rate I'm seeing, the cost per clicks that I'm seeing are not that great. Now, inside of here, there's one that's okay, right? The one that I think that was the one that got leads. That was the other one that got leads. But that one was actually performing well. I don't know why exactly, but anyway, they were only running for a couple days, but the CPMs are really high, so that's just how it is. I've obviously stopped those, and through a lot of decision making, we've got a new one, and I'll run through what I'm doing now. So, obviously everyone tells you to advertise in a category of one or like unique selling point. But, typically when you ask a client, at least in my experience, say like, what do your clients themselves find very unique or great about the business? A lot of the times they don't really get the magnitude of the question and won't go into a lot of detail on it. But after, trying the typical whole weight loss muscle gain thing, even with, relatively good copy, now given the head hooks could have been bad, they could have been whatever, but, not terrible copy. It was pretty mediocre, the results. So I talked with Victor, the guy, and he ran me through some stuff. And the idea is to push the unique selling point, because obviously every gym does like transformations. Everyone fixes your health in a gym, same way as every builder builds something. But it's the unique selling point. Does the builder do it in 6 months, or does the lawyer only pay you if they win the case? Or in my case here, it's they have like when you come in, you get snacks. It's a cap membership gym. It's very exclusive. It's very luxurious. The people coming there are relatively rich, so it's a status thing to push it as well. So that's trying to weave that in as a bit of a unique selling point. Now I'm testing one of his old copies that performed well, as well as is actually a bit shorter, but a newer version of the copy, and then an alterated old version or longer form. Anyway, so I'll see how that goes, and hopefully it's better this week. Group training well, interesting one here. So as I'll go into here, I had this week inside of here. You might glance at it on the top and think it's bad because it's a high cost per lead. It is interesting because Facebook has distributed the money quite weirdly. You would think you'd put the money in the winning ad set, but it's Facebook. Anyway, so I took 3 of the ones that work from here and moved them into the next one. Quickly, I'll run you through. Like, this had a pretty good click-through rate, pretty good cost per click. 2 leads for $9 a lead. I've just turned this specific ad back on. I'm gonna run it for a day. Put $25, 30, like $50 into it. See if it holds up. But anyways, that's obviously annoying. But I've just recopied the 3 winners, filled them all out here. And the reason I'm trying shorter copy is this is like simple stuff. Shit, this should be down here. Fuck. Anyway, fix that in a minute. Point is, dot points. It's much simpler copy that's been working well. So that's something to try as well. Then over here on the final client I'm currently running the ads for is, here we go, 6-week kickstart. I think it's like, the leads aren't too bad. They're about, $21 a lead, so it's 43. But it's interesting because if you go male, it's all gone to the transformations, and this is one issue with Facebook, which I'm going to run these for a few days with the transformation switched off, is it all goes there. $20 a lead, not too bad, honestly. Really low CPM, horrendous click-through rates. So something is not converting in that copy. A lot of people clicking on, a lot of people seeing it. It's not converting very well. Anyway, The females apparently converted a lot better into links, into clicks, but the form didn't convert, they didn't get any leads. So that's that. I'll be just testing them without the transformations on to see the other ones and move forward from there sometime mid this week. Anyway, I think that should cover most of the stuff there briefly. Anyway, moving on to the third thing, which is, I mean, I hate the term of it, but that's a YouTube video idea. Monk mode thing. So I don't like the term of it. For those of you that don't know what it is, it's basically like what people call a protocol of sorts of where, say, you won't, like, I don't know, drink any alcohol or like play any games or do something like that, just to try and organize things a little bit more. Some people, do it, they just don't call it anything. But anyway, so I'll touch on why it's important first, I think. So, well, as a whole, it can, not necessarily monk mode, I'm just going to touch on the whole protocol of, having something you do consistently and how that affects things. So, if you have one thing that's good, so say you might have not the greatest mental health and you're anxious and stressed and things don't feel great. If you have one thing that's good, what happens is, like, let's pick losing weight because it's an example I can talk about easily. So let's say you're a bit overweight and you start, working out, eating, whatever it is, losing weight. First few weeks you might not, see a huge difference, but you put in a little bit of effort, right? But the third, fourth week you start to see a change if you're doing it right. So then you're there and you start to think, well, this is actually pretty good. You feel a little bit good. You're seeing a change. You might have like a vein appeared. Who knows what it is? You're starting to see a bit of results in the area, right? And because you feel good about it, you see a little bit of results. What happens is you divert a little bit of the energy and time and attention you're putting into, say, worse things, maybe like video games or like alcohol, whatever it might be for you. And you then put that, into the thing that now is making you a bit happier and is productive, losing weight. So you put a little bit more energy in, and maybe now you start working out and eating right instead of just one. Or just, doubling down on it, you start to see a little bit more results. They think, wow, this is even better than I thought it was before. You put more energy into that. And that can repeat itself over and over and over again. And I've used weight loss as an example there, but let's say you have a business and you put a little bit more energy into it and time. And then you get a client, like, wow, I got a client. Now I put more energy in, and then you get 2 or 3 clients. You hit a roadblock and you could quit. You put more energy in, then you deliver the results for those clients. Now you feel great. It's a positive feedback loop, and that way you're making money. First example, you're losing weight, now you're making money, or you try and interact or talk more to people, and you might make more friends, you feel better socially, get better at public speaking. Having something that or multiple things, but to start with, one thing that you can do that will positively impact your life, and just trying to nail down on that is really good. Because once you have, and for me it was fitness to begin with, but once you have one area that's, almost a beacon of sorts, of where it makes you very happy and it's, very productive and it helps your mental health a little bit. Mental health, not meaning like you're depressed or something, just meaning, you don't feel tip-top, really confident, really great all the time. And then maybe because this has gone so well, now you actually can divert the energy to another little good thing. Plant a few seeds. Now you might try and socialize with people more. You might try and start a little business. You might try and do better in school. And then even if those things fail, you're still a little bit happy because you got this pillar, but you tried them, and then, maybe another one of those things builds up, and now you got these 2 pillars that make you feel really good. And your energy is diverted from worse stuff into that. And so that's why it's really important to have a few things and drill down on them that work really well for your mental health. And obviously to do that, that's where certain protocols like this come in, like things like routines of sorts, of where you're not going to be able to go to the gym or lose weight if you just decide to eat whatever you want. You're not going to be able to build a business or do well in school or do whatever if you don't put any time to it. And that's when having, these types of things helps. And people can overcomplicate like a monk mode. I'm going to refer to it as that now because it's easily known, but people can overcomplicate it a lot. There's no point saying I'm going to, study or work for 2 hours, 5 hours a day, whatever it is. Because some days you will have stuff on, you can't do that. Some days you might not have any work to do, you might have to do something different. And it's not the root of the issue. Like, if you have free time and you just don't allow yourself to waste the free time, you're either going to sit there and do nothing and reflect on life, or you're going to try and do something useful. And so that's why I always think it's important to cut out like baseline things. So for me, like, don't play games and stuff, or limit it to an hour a day of recreational things. Because for me, I already go to the gym, I work out, like health is important. I already cover that base, so I don't need to worry about it. I count on my macros and stuff. And then this allows me to if I'm limiting games and everything else I'm doing, I get into that positive feedback loop of, well, I'm doing like well in work and school and everything else. That feels great, so I do more of it, and as well I achieve well in it, and it creates that free time for me to then fill with work. And that's one thing, big thing I think a lot of people overcomplicate with a monk mode or any protocol itself, is don't try and set like what you want to achieve. Like, you don't want to be working 3 hours a day. Don't set that as the goal of it. Try and eliminate what's preventing you from getting there, because that way it'll just be easier. Anyway, I hope you guys found that a little bit useful about why it's important to, have goals or things you do, and why it's important to have a monk mode in there. This is mine. It's simple as well. Quick thing on sleep. Your circadian rhythm goes in hour-and-a-half cycles, so you want to make sure sleeping an additive of an hour and a half. It's like an hour and a half, 3 hours, 6 hours, 9 hours after you sleep. And for me, and for a lot of people, sleeping before 12 is really, really, really important for sleep quality. If I sleep 11:30 and get more sleep, I will wake up more tired and worse off. Anyway, I forgot to cover it before, just quickly with lifts. 95 for 4 and 5, so 2 sets, 5 reps, 4 reps. On bench, deadlifted sumo 140 for 5 and then for 3. And squatting 100 for 5 for 2 sets pretty easily today. So anyway, yeah, that's what it's all at. Hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry it's a little bit quicker and I won't have time to edit this one, just because I wasted a bit of time this weekend and everything else. But hopefully, well, definitely the next one will be a lot better, and I might try and bring out a video that's not just the weekly ones as well. Anyway, thank you. Bye.